Hey, Tube, what's going on? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update. Today is Zcash. Right now we're sitting at $43.30. We're up 12.88%. And what I want to do is kind of piggyback off the last video that I did from Zcash. If you go back through my videos, guys, it was probably, and I'll put it up here in a card for you, but it was probably about 3 or so weeks ago, we were looking at a potential trend change for Zcash. And guys, being able to read when trends are changing, they can be so profitable for you. But what we were looking at down here was this consolidation area and how the volume started to increase for us, and we were moving sideways. And what I said we needed to break out of was this yellow downtrend line, and that's exactly what is happening now, guys. The trend is changing from this 6-month downtrend into an uptrend now. Now, what we have to be aware of, okay, our RSI on the 1-day chart is up over 80 right now. So there's going to be some profits that are going to be taken before the next potential move up. Because remember, when you're trying to change the trend now, these were all lower highs and lower lows. Now we're looking to have higher highs and higher lows. So say, guys, we continue to push up here, the next area I would look at for us to hold as support would probably be around $38. That's going to be this area, because a lot of times, remember, you'll push up just like we did down here, then you'll have another retracement as the market breathes, and then you'll have that next leg up. And that's typically what happens, those higher highs and higher lows coming in. And that's what we have to be aware of, because right now, because basically you can look down here, this is where a bullish engulfing candle pushed us up to the upside, then we had a retracement, then we had another leg, then most likely another retracement, and then another leg up, guys. That's a lot of times how it goes. If you study some Elliott wave theory, which, guys, that's still just a theory and it doesn't always work out, but a lot of times you can start counting those waves and see what may be coming in, just like you can to the downside as well. But with this amount of volume coming in right now, guys, this is a huge amount of volume coming in out of a trend line break. So in my opinion, that's extremely significant. But just like when we were looking back over here, guys, we drew a trend line over here and we were looking at a trend line break. And I'll just do a real rough one here for us. But when we were looking at this trend line, even right here, that one, we'll put it in red. When we broke down through this, we started this 6-month downtrend. So now what we're looking for is the opposite to happen. We've been in this downtrend. We finally broken the downtrend line. Now we want to have higher highs and higher lows. And that's why I said we'd look at around that 38 for support if we do start to cool off a little bit. And then I'd look down to around $33. But right now, being up around 80, we're getting into that overbought territory. And a lot of short-term traders will like to take profits. And that's usually when you have these cool offs. Just like you can see over here, guys, when you blast up, you always have that retracement. Blast up, retracement. Over here, blast up, retracement. So it's always going to come, and that's what we have to be prepared for. So if you're not in a Zcash position right now, this isn't financial advice, but I wouldn't go trying to chase one and run into it. Could it get higher? Could the RSI go up to 90? Absolutely, guys. But you want to get in the habit of where if you see something at 80 or more, on the 1-day chart, you want to be careful, because each time we've been up into these areas, you'll always see that cooling off period. Up into this area, you're going to have that cooling off period. And if we look at the RSI here, what I like to do is kind of draw support and resistances off it. So the highest we had been recently was up here around 91, so we know we can get to that territory. The next spot is going to be around 82, and that's exactly where we're at right now. And you can see we're kind of going straight up. And typically when you go straight up, guys, just like over here, you'll have that big retracement afterwards. And that's where, if you are interested in Zcash, that's what I would kind of plan for. Now, me, guys, I started slowly accumulating some Zcash down in this area, and when I talk slow, I'm talking very slow, because with this trend, it still could have continued to the downside, but these were pretty good prices for Zcash, and for me, I was getting into like $31, $32, just grabbed a few here and there. So right now, I am in this position, but I'm looking at the point of when and where do I want to take profit, and we're getting up to that area to where I would want to take some profit and then potentially buy back in once we have that retracement, guys, because you have to remember, nothing goes straight up. Anything that goes straight up is going to come straight back down. That just is how it is. We can even look back to this last bull market, or this bull run that we had here. Each time we pumped, we retraced. We pump, we retrace. And that's just what you have to remember, guys, when you're looking at these trends. It's all about higher highs and higher lows when you're trying to break this trend. So that's on the RSI. I want to look at just a few more indicators for us here. Next one is going to be our stock RSI. Stock RSI is at 100 and 100 right now, so we're pretty much pegged out up at the top right now. We definitely are in that overbought condition right now, so just be aware of that, guys, and don't FOMO into things. Like I said, it could still pump a little higher today, but once you start to get into these areas, people are going to want to start taking profits. And you can look at this by the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands will show you when you get a little overextended, and we are way out of the Bollinger Bands right now. That's all the way down here, guys, around $35 or so. And that'll show you if you get overextended to the upside, also if you get overextended to the downside. And when the bands get really tight, it's that squeezing effect, and then what you're going to have is a break, and we ended up breaking to the upside here. So I'm not saying we can't run higher today. I'm just saying, guys, we're up over 15% on the day right now. Some major markets don't run that much in a year, and 15% is very significant, and a lot of people want to take their profits at those levels. So just be careful here. So overhead resistance, the next area we'd look at around 53 would be the stop, and then it would be up to around $80, and then obviously back to around that high of 116 we had off the real bodies when we had that last move to the upside. But it's all about the trends, guys, and really trying to align yourself with the trend and trying to get ahead of that trend a little bit. Like I said, if you can just buy a few shares here and there when you start seeing trend changes, then you can continuously ride them up for the longer term, and that's what I like to do, at least from intermediate to longer term, in terms of riding the trends. But if you get some from this, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You want me covering Zcash, let me know down low. Leave me some comments. I'm going to try to get back to all the comments tomorrow. So God bless you all, guys. Take care.